Hey there, I'm Stace. Welcome back to my channel. And you're used to seeing my kitchen from this angle, but I got something different for you today. Come this way. Ta-da! I want to show you every single thing that I have in every single drawer and how I organize it. Let's go. All right, first things first, I have a 4-meter long island. Now I bet you're just like, Stace, that's bonkers. But let me talk you through it. I have no overhead storage, right? Usually people have cabinets up here, but mine is just long and low. So everything is in drawers for easy access. First drawer off the ranks. This is my spice drawer. I have everything in order here. I use my little label maker and I put them in alphabetical order. I love these containers. I got them from the Source Bulk Foods. I will link everything below and let me know in the comments if you've got any questions. But the reason I love these spice ones is look, you can fit your spoon in there. Brilliant. I've got some overstock and then I have my little bits for my lunch boxes that fit in well here as well. And everything is nicely organized, which isn't always what you get with a spice drawer. I love it like that. Okay, next drawer down. This one is my plates and platters. As you can see, I've really got a thing for white plates with pretty little edges. So these are all my salad bowls. I use these nightly with my family. I'm not into having special things that we never use. I literally use one of these bowls every single night, and because I don't have a lot of space, they are stacked. All right, and on to the bottom drawer. This is where all of my glass jars are. So if you've been following along for a while, you'll know that Stace is super into fermented foods. So I keep my old passata jars and I use these to make kombucha, kefirs, fermented juices. I also use these in my pantry. So I have one rule in my house that anyone that undoes the dishwasher has to go by, and that is that you put the lid back on. Not only for antibacterial, so that's really great when we're fermenting with these or preserving in the jars, but also too, it just means that when I open it up, it's really easy to grab what I need because I've actually got the lid with it. I have some smaller jars, some wet ones that I ferment my fruits and vegetables with, and then yeah, the bigger, longer ones. That's how that drawer is. All right, and now I get into all of, check this out, These are all of my different cutleries. I got these inner drawers from IKEA and I've kind of organized them into likes. So especially for my utensils, I've got all of my wooden ones together, then all of my silver ones together, all of my silicone ones together. I try and buy the same color so that when I open it, it looks clean. And I love navy because it's the color of my kitchen. And then all of the barbecue things together. I mean, that's not rocket science, that stuff is like grouped together. But I really love that my inner drawers are made of this gorgeous beachy color oak. And that I literally turned up to IKEA and I was able to get all of these inners. They all change around too. So some of them I've left bigger and then some of them I've left smaller. It's really great to do this. And I know you kind of look at this and be like, oh, can I get there? I recommend that you do, because especially for the kids when they're putting stuff away with the dishwashers, they know where everything goes. And I don't have too much stuff. You know, like I've got the forks, I've got my knives, I've got my spoons, I've got a few things for the kids for their lunch boxes, but rather than having 40,000 things, you just look after it and store it well so you know you have it. And now on to my most asked about drawer. This is my container drawer as well as the kids' lunchbox drawers. All of my drawers in here are 1 meter wide, so they can keep a lot in them. I have a thing for Pyrex, and I have 3 different types of containers. This is literally it. There isn't little tiny ones. There's nothing else. I have an 11 cup, what's this one? A 6 cup, and I think that's about a 2 cup containers. And the reason I love these is that when you put them in the fridge, they're not round, so they're going to fit well. You can stack them, you can put them in the freezer, and I love that I can go straight to the oven with them. So my view on pretty much everything in life is buy once and buy well and be done with it. So they're my Pyrex containers. I just store the lids next to them, just like that. And then when I move on to more food storage, I'm sure you've seen my pretty famous freezer dump bags. In my slow cooker course, as well as my 1 pan course, I really encourage you guys to make up a meal, put it in here, whack it in the freezer, then you pull it out the night before and it can go straight into a pan or straight into your slow cooker. I use these silicone grade, be really careful. Most that are on the market that aren't these, I've linked it below, will have plastics in them. These wash a dream and they're really great in the freezer. So I just store them up as well. I also have little ones and I just have them there. I've got the kids' thermoses, not all of them are here because they're at school and they've taken some of those today. I have my containers for their lunch boxes. I actually have 6 of these. I've got 3 babes. So often I'll make up 2 lunch boxes, so 2 days worth of food in one go. Some are in the dishwasher and then they've also got some at school. And I've got my little containers and my little ladies. I've got 2 of these little silicone crunch and sip. So cute. Let me know, are you surprised that I don't have more? In terms of my containers, I feel like it's one of the most common questions that I get asked on my Instagram. I'll link that below. Is Stace, how many different containers do you live with? I live with 3. That is it. All right, on to my bottom drawer. I would say that this one is a kind of the overflow of things. It's got my baking. I use these containers to keep it together. These are some more of my platters that don't really fit in that other side, more baking things, and yeah, my apple in there, my Thermomix thermo server. What is that what it's called? That keeps everything warm. My recommendation is when you have a drawer like this, like I could literally dump everything in, but because I just got these little containers, they fit perfectly in this drawer. It still feels organized, and when I open it up I don't feel overwhelmed, and those things are really ace, so that if I want to bake and I know that it's all easy and accessible, it makes me think, you know, a little bit calmer. All right, now on to my more baking everyday things. This is probably one of my most used drawers. I use my Pyrexes. I make a lot of my kids' snacks from scratch, dinners from scratch, but I'm also using these for my ferments as well. So I've got my big Pyrex. These are the 2-litre containers. These are perfect for making kombucha in, and I've got 3 of these. So I make up loads of kombucha in one go. I've linked below my fermenting course so I can teach you how to make that. I also make up my sourdoughs and things in these as well. So I'm just such a big fan of having one thing that I can use in multiple different ways. I've got about, I think, 6 different measuring cups, but I just stack them, see they're all nice and neatly. The funnels that I use for my ferments, a few of the bits for my Thermomix, got my little grape graters from IKEA, and then my nested bowls. This is something too, I just want to call this out and be like, Stace, why are you picking up a funnel? This is the best thing ever, both for like if I'm making sauerkraut, but also to like filling up the containers in my pantry. And I often will put this in the kids' thermos, and if I'm measuring out like the bolognese or the nachos and stuff, it just means it doesn't go everywhere. This, I've linked him below, is probably the hardest worker in my kitchen. I love him. All right, and now onto my drawer that kind of looks disorganized, but I know where everything is. I have all of my little containers here for my gummies. I'll link a few of those recipes for you below, but I make a lot of those for the kids. different ones of our tablets that we're taking, and then also the drink bottles. It does look like a few drink bottles there. All of them, I'm often culling them that we pick up. My kids take one to school and they just keep track of that, and to be honest, that's how they've always lived, and we haven't really lost any. But I do have a few extras so that if we go for a hike on the weekend or I'm at the gym, I usually take 2 bottles with me because I'm thirsty. Yeah, okay. Right, we're getting close. There's only 2 drawers to go. And this is our plates drawer. Oh my gosh, in the Roundhouse is the brand of plates that I use and I love. I have 3 different sets for every day. Blue, pink, and white. I love them. I've got the bigger ones here, and I am such a big fan of making the everyday fun and happy. And these plates, like, I'm like a year on and I love them, and they just photograph my food so beautifully. So I have most of the sets there. There's a few more white ones that I have in a different spot, but yeah, that's it there. And then for some more fun plates, I have these ones down here. So I try and keep them easily accessible for use as well. These are my gorgeous wedding plates. This is my late grandmother's plates, more of the white ones, and some more fun of in the Roundhouse plates. I do have a dream of having one of those American, is it called an armoire kind of thing? One of those arch things that I can have all of my beautiful plates in, but I also have a reality that I live in the inner city and I don't have a lot of space. All right, let me show you a few more things. So I'm gonna come back the other way, but before I do, in here is my pantry, my fridge, my freezer. Let me know if you want me to do a tour of that as well. Let me know below in the comments, give this a little old like, because if I don't hear from you, I don't know. All right, up here, I'm gonna go back the other way in the kitchen. This is where I keep my chopping boards, and where I live has a really great system of that we can put all of our food scraps in this, including meats. Love that. And they've got a huge compost farm. So we have a different bin for it. So that's my compost there. And underneath is my glasses drawer. I've got a few of the kids' babies' bottles still left that we now use with their fermented juices in it. Some smoothie containers, my teacups, and then glasses. My glasses actually run to out here. And I love that everything matches. Again, it just makes me feel calm when I open it up. This is my drawer where I keep a lot of my appliances. And to be honest, if I was redoing my kitchen again, I think I would do it in a different way. I see, and I'm really in love with that stately sort of American kitchens. And I've seen some really cool ideas that they have them here behind a little garage door, but also I've seen where they actually have just a cut like this with a stone, and it's sort of like a sliding door. Oh my God, could you imagine if I could have done that like that whole length? I don't have that big a house and I've literally built on my boundary, but in my head, that's what I would do. But for now, it's down here. So front and center is always gonna be the slow cooker in Stace's land. I've got my juicer. I've got a different handheld blender, which I love that for blending soups directly in my slow cooker. I have a popcorn maker. My sweet husband's ice machine when he was a kid. My juicer and a toasty maker. My toasty maker always gets a workout. That is often what I send the kids to school with. I have my gorgeous sink. This is a soap dispenser, and this, oh, I love him. This is my hose. So this hose is really long. I tried to put it over there, but I tell you, it's a ripper that if I've got like a whole heap of containers like going here that I want to put water in, It is so good. This is a beautiful patined brass, and I love it. I'll link below where I got that from. Underneath the sink, oh, I'm definitely not show home worthy. I'm a bit more real. But I have this container here for, I've got 2 of them for all of my tea towels. I have them matched because you're probably getting used to that. I like things to look nice and clean. Also under here is where I keep my dustpan and broom, my stuff for the dishwasher, my squeegee, because have you seen my video on Instagram about that I use this on here? I'll link it below, you gotta check that out. But yeah, not too many things. The overflow of all of my other detergents and such are in the laundry, but to be honest, I just use a lot of bicarb, soda and vinegar. Do it that way. This is my bin. I have dish drawers. I think they're both on. Yeah, I can't show you those. I love dish drawers. Oh my gosh, I love them so much more than a standard dishwasher. They're so much easier to get into, and I can put them on at different times of the day. Honestly, do it in your kitchen. I love them. Next to my ovens, I'll show you those in a sec, is where I keep my trays. So I have a few oven trays. I've got some of these gorgeous solid steel ones from Solid Techniques. And then I also have the ones that came with the actual oven. And then that's where I keep my drying rack. I have some of the reusable silicone container, like sheets for them. And I keep in here, this is my drippings jar, which is, maybe I don't show you that because you're probably grossed out, but if you're not, you probably love it. We cook bacon and then we save the fat in here like your grandma used to do. And then when it comes time to cook some roast potatoes, oh my gosh, instead of using oil, I use the bacon fat. It is such a, oh my God, yeah, you'll love it. Okay, my ovens. So I've got 2 ovens that are slightly oversized. So a standard oven is 600. Mine is 720, is it? Or 780, sorry. And a bigger one is like 900. I love this size. I bought it making sure that it has all of the different options on there. The thing that I really love about it is it's got a grill on there. It also has an air fryer, which I think maybe that could work, but it's such a big oven, it's gonna take a while for it to heat up. But what I love is the dehydrator. So I'll often make like my dehydrated fruit leather, I'll dehydrate fruit. And just the other day, I've used it to make my own yogurt. Oh my God, it turned out absolutely perfectly well. So I love these ovens. They have been amazing, and I really love that I have 2 of them and I use both of them at the same time really, really often. I have a large induction cooktop with my this again is a real American English thing as well, which is the pot filler over the top. And it is ripper, not just for filling up, you know, the water for the pasta, but I use it that if something, you know, is burnt on the bottom, I can put water in it straight away and let it soak. That's great. I have a gas one as well because I'm determined to learn how to use wok. That's going to be my 2025 goal, is I really want to get great at Asian cooking. So I've got that. Beautiful overhead. I had this custom made. It is aluminium. I love the curves on it, and that is goes outside, gets rid of all the steam. And then the last 2 drawers, come in here. This is all of my stuff to be used up top. So usually sitting here is my bowl, is my saucepans. I have 3 and they stack on top of each other. And then I've just used these little pull-out things from IKEA. I think they also have them at Kmart, so that I can section my lids and then my fry pans. I've got 2 big oven containers that I cook stuff in. Are you surprised here that like I don't have that much stuff, but what I have is really good quality things that I can reuse in so many different ways. And this Oh, there's a tripod. But this is my baking tray. And this as well, we'll move that out of the way. So this is where my baking things go. So these are all of my different baking containers. Oh, I'm gonna link these because this is a new brand and I absolutely love them. They wash so well. And I've got my little containers for proofing my sourdough in. And again, it's nice and clean so that it's easy to get to. And I want that not just for me, but also for my kids so that if they want to bake, they can easily grab what they want and it doesn't feel too hard. My last two drawers I used as stationery and crafting drawers. There's a lot of personal things in there, so I'm not going to show you that, but that works quite well for my crew because where my kitchen sits, annoyingly but also wonderfully, is it does become a bit of a dumping ground. But it also means that we retain and everyone, you know, is nice and close. All right. Oh, I've got another thing to show you actually. There is more to the kitchen. Come around this way. Move these out of the way. So when I was designing this kitchen, and I did it, I wanted quite a deep island. It didn't worry me that I wasn't going to be able to stand on this side and reach perfectly over to clean it. I was very happy with walking around the side of it because it meant that I would be able to get storage on this side. And if you remember back to the start of the video, I said I don't have any overhead storage, right? So it is really tricky for me to have enough space for everything. So over this side, it's not very deep. I think it's only about 300, but this is where I keep stuff that I'm not going to use every day. So I keep our wine glasses because I'm not a big drinker. I keep some nice plastic cups that we use outside as well, and the wedding cups because I still want them to be able to be close by that I can use them, but not like, you know, right on top of the everyday things. So this is where I keep, yeah, my pretty glasses. And this is where I have some overflow of that beautiful dinner set from my late grandmother, our waffle maker, our donut little maker, and then also some of the fun beer containers that my husband has from our travels. That's two of them done. Do you see here too? Actually, I should say that. They're 1 meter wide, so they mirror that exact same size that I had for my drawers. And again, that just sort of helps me be like, okay, there's 4 of those. Which number is it that things are along in? These are my vases, and then this is also my big crock for my fermenting, some of our candles, and a few of the bigger plastic containers. And then the last one is really, to be honest, where we keep all of our, we don't have the ability to have like cupboards in the middle of the home. I love how people have like cupboards in their hallways. We don't, our house is too small, so that's where I keep all of the kids and mine, like our oils and any medicines that we might need. I would love to hear what you think of this. I've always, I know I look at different people, I'm like, show me in your drawers. Let me see what's in there. I hope you've loved this. Let me know below, like, what parts were really great for you? Is there any of these items that you want me to link? Maybe there's something that you know that would be perfect for me that I need to try. I need to know about that as well. But be sure to subscribe, give this a like, and make sure you follow me also over on Insta. And check back in next Friday for the next video. See ya.